Hello everyone, welcome again to another tutorial. So in today's video, we'll be making simple but elegant bead bag using spaghetti bead. Let's get started. So I have here a variety of beads. Here's my spaghetti bead, opaque color. I have my metallic gold bead over here. Spaghetti bead is my main color together with the gold bead. That's what I'm going to use. But if you don't have a gold bead, you have so many choices to make over here. These are black pearls. They are also in 6mm. Okay, pearls come in different colors. These are crystal bead, and this one too is pearl in white color. You can use pearls. They come in different colors. You can get in blue, yellow, any color. This one too is a crystal. Okay, and they are good alternative to use instead of gold bead. If you don't have gold bead, don't worry, just look for bead that is in 6mm. So my main color is the opaque white and the gold bead that I choose. Okay, that is what I'm going to use. All this is in 6mm, so any one of them will work perfectly for you. What we are going to use today is opaque white and the gold bead. Okay, and all this you can find them in your local craft store or where they sell bead. Here is my fishing line, my 50-pound fishing line. And here is my cutter, okay, to use. If you don't have a cutter, just use scissors. You can use nail cutter or something that works for you. Let me go ahead, clear the table a little bit, and let's get started. Okay, now I cut my line to the length that my arms can take, and I'm going to string this number of bead on my line. Okay, I start with gold bead, spaghetti, and another spaghetti bead. Okay, so this is how I arrange my bead on my line, and I'm going to cross into the gold bead. I'm crossing my left and right line into the gold bead and pull down. Okay, so as you can see, my line split into two, left and right. Okay, I'm going to put this spaghetti bead on the right and one on the left. Then I'm going to cross both ends of my line like this. Okay, I put my bead on each line like this. Then I'm going to cross both ends of my line into the gold bead and pull down. Like this, cross and pull it down. Now on each line again, I put spaghetti bead on each side of my line like this. And we are going to cross both ends into the gold bead again and pull down. Cross and pull down like this. Now again, I add bead to my right and the left line, and I'm going to cross both ends of my line into the gold bead and pull like this. Then we have 4. Now we are going to make 5, 1 on each side of my line, and I'm crossing into this gold bead and pull down. I'm crossing into the gold bead and pull. Now what we are going to do, this is how the weave is looking like. It's a right angle weave that we are making with the spaghetti bead. All right, now we have 5 over here, and we are going to turn to make 6. I want to turn this way to continue my weaving. So on my right line, I add 2 spaghetti bead, and in between I put the gold bead. Okay, now I'm going to cross into the white one, cross and pull like this. Now my line turn on the side, so I can continue again to make a new row. Now as you can count, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this is where my line is. Okay, this is where my line is in this bead, and we are going to continue to make a mat of this bead. I'm flipping over to my side. We are going to continue our weaving. Now on my left line, put 2 gold bead, and in between I'm going to put 1 spaghetti bead like this. Okay, 2 gold bead, and in between I put the spaghetti bead. I'm going to cross into the gold bead and pull like this. Now I'm going to pull my right line into the next bead, pull it through the next bead, and add 2 bead, 1 spaghetti and 1 gold bead. Cross into the gold bead and pull. Now into the next bead again, I'm pulling my right line into the next bead. Okay, now I add 1 spaghetti bead and 1 gold bead. I'm going to cross my right line into the gold bead and pull into the next bead. That is how we are going to weave. I pull my line through the next bead, then I add 2 bead. Okay, now first I drop the spaghetti and the gold bead. I cross into the gold bead, into the next bead again, 2 bead, cross into the gold bead and pull. I'm going to pull my line again into this one, the last one on the end. Okay, I pull my right line through the last bead, and on the same line I add 1 gold bead and 1 spaghetti bead. All right, that's why my line is going to turn on the side again, and now I can continue my weaving. And I'm going to cross my line into the spaghetti bead and pull like this. See how my line turned to the side? That's how we can expand and continue our weaving. I'm flipping it to my side. Okay, my left line, we are going to continue again. My left line, I add 2 gold bead, and in between I put the spaghetti bead. Okay, now I'm going to cross my right line into the gold bead and pull into the next bead. We are going to pull a line through the edge bead, okay, or the edge bead, and then we add bead to it. So I add 1 spaghetti and 1 gold bead. I'm crossing into the gold bead and pull. I'm going to pull again into the next bead. I add 1 spaghetti and 1 gold bead. I'm crossing into the gold and pull. Into the next bead again, 2 bead. Cross into the gold and pull. Into the next bead again, I add 1 spaghetti and 1 gold bead. Cross into the gold and pull. Now I'm pulling into the last bead over here like this, and on the same line I'm going to add bead to it. Okay, the same line I put to the last bead, I add 1 gold bead and 1 spaghetti like this. This is how I pick it. I'm going to cross my left line into the spaghetti bead and pull like this. Now my line is on the side again. We are going to continue our weaving. Now my left line, I start with 2 gold bead, and in between I put the spaghetti bead. Into the next bead, 2 bead, 1 spaghetti, 1 gold, cross into the gold and pull. This is how the weave is looking like. Okay, very simple, very elegant, and very beautiful. So we are going to continue to make this and expand it to make 19. Okay, we are going to make 19 rows, and this is how it's looking like. This is my 19 rows I made. If you count, this is 19 and we made 6. Okay, 6 by 19. Here's another piece that I make again. Here's the second piece. They both the same size, 6 by 19, 6 by 19. I'm going to show you how we are going to put these two together. So if you make it, you have to make both the same size. Okay, you have to make the same count of bead, the same number of bead for both of them. Now we are going to put the 2 pieces together. I'm going to join. Now I get my line. This is a new line that I cut. I'm going to add 1 bead to it. We are going to use spaghetti to join them. Okay, I'm going to put my line into this bead. The first bead over here, I put my right line into it. Now I'm going to the second piece and I put it into the first bead. Now pull. Okay, like this. Now I take 1 bead. I'm crossing both ends of my line into it and pull down like this. Hold both ends and pull it down like this. Now my right line into the next bead, my left into the next bead on the other piece, and this one too like this. I cross both ends of my line into the bead, hold both ends together of the line and pull down. My right line again, I pull through the next bead, my left into the left piece. Okay, now I take 1 spaghetti bead, cross both ends of my line into it and pull, and that is how we join them. Go into the next bead, into the next bead, cross into the bead, pull down. This is how we are going to continue to the end. Okay, now I'm about to complete this one. So I'm going to complete, and then we continue from there. I'm going to repeat the same thing over here. Cross both ends of your line and pull into the next bead, into the next bead. Cross into the spaghetti bead, pull into the next bead, into the next bead. Cross and pull. So now this is my last one, and we are going to fold on this like this. I'm going to go ahead and close the side. I'm pulling my line through the next bead over here, pull it through, and my left line into the next bead. I take one spaghetti bead, cross both ends of my line into it, and pull like this. Okay, this is very simple. So I'm going to pull both lines into the next bead, this one into the next, and I'm pulling this one through the next bead. I'm going to take one bead, cross both ends of my line into it, and pull. And we are going to repeat this. This is what we are going to repeat until we close the side. Then we make the same thing on the opposite side. Okay, this is how it's looking like. I close both sides, and this is how the bag is looking like. Very simple, very easy to make, and it doesn't take much time to make at all. You can make it yourself. So now what we are going to do is to just attach a handle on it. What I'm doing here, I'm weaving a little piece to wrap around the handle. Okay, it's the same weave the way I teach you from the beginning. Is the same thing. Okay, I'm going to turn over here, and I'll be making only 3 rows. Okay, I'm making 3 rows over here, so I can wrap this piece around the handle. The number of rows I'm making here to wrap around my handle, 3 rows. Okay, I'm making 3 rows. That will be 3 by 6, and this is how it's looking like. And this is the metal ring I have for the handle. I'm going to wrap the piece around it before we join it on the bag. And now this is the piece that we made. I'm just going to wrap it around this metal ring. I'm going to show you how you're going to do it. Okay, hold it like this. This is my line that I cut, very short, not too long. Then I'm adding 1 gold bead to my line like this. I'm going to pull into this one. These two, I'm going to pull my right line into this one. Okay, like this. Then I'm going to pull my left one into this bead. Pull it through the second one on the opposite side, hold both ends and pull like this. Now I'm going to take 1 gold bead, cross both ends of my line into it, and pull. Just like this. Pull. So now we are going to continue to wrap around the ring. I'm pulling through the next bead into the next bead. Take 1 gold bead, cross both ends of the line into it, and pull. Okay, like this. This is how we are going to continue going through the bead. Take gold bead and wrap it like this. Pull into the next bead, into the next bead. Cross into the gold bead, pull down. Go to the next bead, go to the next. Take 1 gold bead, cross both ends of your line, cross and pull. And this is my last one. I'm going to take 1 gold bead again. This is how it's looking like. Very beautiful. Cross both ends of my line into the gold bead and pull. And that is how I made the handle. Now we are going to attach it to the bag. And this is where we are going to hold it and measure it wherever you want it to be. You can make it down or you can make it high. Okay, so you find a position that you want your handle to look like. I'm going to attach it like this. Okay, I'm going to hold it and I'm going to count to find the middle. Okay, here is my middle. I count well to find your middle and attach it. So I'm pulling my line through this middle bead, and now I add 1 gold bead to each side of the line. I take 1 gold bead again, cross both ends of my line and pull down. Now on each line again, I add one gold bead. Okay, now I'm going to take another gold bead, cross both ends of my line into it and pull. Again, on each line I add one gold bead, I take another one, cross both ends of my line into it and pull down. So now what we are going to do, this is 1 2 3, okay, that's 3. Now I add one on each line, another gold bead on the right line, okay, like this. Just drop one. Now I'm going to take the handle, we are going to wrap these bolts, little bolts that we made. Now I'm going to cross into the next bead, this one, the next in front of the one we weave. Okay, so I put my handle inside my weave and I'm crossing both ends of my line into this one and pull. Cross like that into the bead and pull, okay, like this. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to weave the line back into the bead before I trim it off. I want to reinforce the line, make sure it's well secured and tight. So I'm just weaving back into the bead. You can weave and weave long into the bead, okay? I'm just weaving back into the bead before I trim it off. Like this. You can weave it long as you want, okay? Now I'm going to measure again. I'm going to hook, make the next bolt on this one, 4, okay? When you count 1 2 3 4 on the 4th one. So I'm pulling my line through it. And we are going to do the same weaving we did for the first one. I add one gold bead on each line and I'm going to cross into the bead and pull. Again, I add one bead, cross into the 3rd one and pull down. I'm going to do the same thing again, one bead on each line. I'm crossing into the 3rd one and pull. Cross and pull down. Now I'm going to drop one gold bead on it. Then I'm going to wrap. Now the bead in front, I count 4, the 4th one. Okay, this is the 4th one. I'm going to cross my line into the 4th one here and pull. That is the bead right in front of where we weave. So cross into it and pull like this. This is how it's looking like. Then the rest of the line, I'm going to weave back into the bead. Make sure it's well secured enough before I cut it off, okay? I'm just weaving the line into the bead. And this is how it's looking like. Just weave, reinforce the line and make sure it's strong. Now I'm going to repeat the same thing over here. I'm going to count 4 on the other side and make a bolt and wrap it. This is how it's looking like. Very easy, very simple, very beautiful. This is how the bag is looking like. Now we have to repeat the same thing on the other side. Okay, we have to repeat the same thing on the other side too. And this is how it's looking like. Very beautiful, very elegant, very simple but elegant. Look at the handle moves, okay? It moves. I want it to be a little thicker in the hand so it doesn't feel like you are holding metal in your hand. Okay, that is why I make the wrap around it so it can be a little thick in your hand. So this is how it's looking like when I add the second handle. Look at how elegant and beautiful it looks like. Very beautiful. So get your bead and make yours today. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also, turn on your notifications for any new videos that I'll be uploading so you don't miss on it. Until I see you again in my next video, take care and bye.